Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is our chapter related with the power, politics, and leadership. First of all, we would like to discuss what does the mean of the power. Power is a measure of a person's ability to control the environment around them, including the behavior of other people. The term authority is often used for power perceived as legitimate by the social structure. The thing here we would like to discuss is the important thing is related with that how much the person has authority to control the environment and how these things relate with the environment. These are very important things and these are the very important factors. So the power can be seen as evil or unjust. Indeed, all evil and injustice committed by a man against man involve power. This is also the possibility. The use of power need not involve coercion, force, or threat of force. These are the possibilities related with the power. Power can be used for the evil and unjust. Power can also be used for injustice in the organization, and power can be used for by force or by threat. These are the possibilities related with the power. Another important thing that is related with the leadership and power is leaders have power in situations. It does not necessarily mean that leaders should do or do have power over people. Power is simply the right to provide leadership, as leadership involves influence over other people. Power is usually given by the group to the leader. So, to can the group take the power away if they are not satisfied with the leader? The exercise of power is a complex process and appears to be dependent on context, personality, and expertise. Uh, how, how an individual or a leader can use power in the organizations depend on the context, depend on the personality and expertise he and she has. So the important thing here is that we need to understand the importance of power and how this is can simply be lead simply we can be provide leadership skills in the organizations. So these are very important things. So the thing is that leaders, how leaders can play an important role and how their personality can influence the organizations and how much these expertise can help the organization. Sources and types of the power is to exercise influence. A leader must have power, the potential or ability to influence decisions and control resources. Leaders must have the power and as well as the potential or ability to influence decisions and control resources. These are one of the important characteristics, or these are one of the important element that is related with the leaders. Power is the third pillar of leadership. The other two is being knowledge and trust. So power is very important when we're talking about leadership. So if a leader has, if the leader don't have the power, so he cannot influence people and he cannot attain whatever he required or whatever he want to achieve. So these are very important things. The other things are the knowledge and the trust. This trust is very important factor. If you remember during the classes, I told you that this the trust is very important. Trust factor is very important, and engaging and involving the people is very important. Effective leaders use power appropriately when and how to be directive and when to delegate. These are very important things. When how to be consultative, providing guidance instead of being directive. These are all very important aspects. Types and sources of power. Power granted by the organization, position power, power stemming from characteristics of the person. This is known as the personal power. Power stemming from ownership, power stemming from providing resources, power derived from capitalizing upon opportunity, power stemming from managing critical problems, power stemming from being close to the power. These are some of the important elements which are related with the and the sources of the power. Position power is most obvious and important, also called legitimate power, refers to a power of an individual because of the relative position within the organization. Legitimate power is known as the power because of the position he and she has. For example, a vice chancellor has a legitimate power. For example, you can say that the doctors have the legitimate power in the hospitals practice during practices. Doctors have the legitimate power. Surgeons have the legitimate power. So these are all the examples related with the legitimate power. It is formal authority delegated to the holder of the position. Is legitimate power enough to produce effects on others or influence them as desired by the leader? Yes. The legitimate power is very much effective and influence the leader team of experts, doctors, legitimate power, the lawful right to make decision and expert compliance is called legitimate power. Reward power, the authority to give employees rewards for compliance is referred as reward power. Very much clear and very much simpler to all of you. Coercive power is the power to push for non-compliance. It is based on fear. Information power, the power stemming from formal control over the information people need to do their work. The sales manager who controls sales leads hold considerable power. So the three sources of power stem from characteristics of behaviors of the power actor: expert power, referent power, prestige power. Uh, Furthermore, if we can explain it, the expert power is the ability to influence others through specialized knowledge, skills, or abilities. It is an individual's power deriving from the skills or expertise of the person and the organization's need for those skills and expertise. Unlike the others, this type of power is usually highly specific and limited to the particular area in which the expert is trained and qualified. The simple thing is that you have the knowledge, you have the skills, you have the abilities, so you have the power, and you can use it in the organization's need, and you can use it or you can drive the skills in the organizations. Other thing is that the power is usually highly specific and limited to a particular area in which the expert is trained and qualified. Referent power is the ability to influence others through desirable traits and characteristics. For example, celebrities, they have the referent power. Some of the people who has the you can say the specific characteristics. Uh, for example, you can say that in Pakistan, Muslims, scholars, and Muslims leaders have the referent power. So you can use it for whenever you are communicating or whenever you need to influence others. So these are some of the things. You can say that referent power is mostly used in the advertisements, mostly used in whenever you want to endorse people. You can you can communicate something. So these are some of the areas where referent power might be used for influencing the others. Celebrities, Islamic scholars, charismatic leaders, interpersonal skills. So these are all the things related with the referent power. Prestige power from one's status and reputation. A manager who has accumulated important business success acquires prestige power. This is also related with the that's a kind of the you can say that associated with the status and reputation. You can say that this is also the another example where you can say that you can lead the businessmen, big tycoons, and some other important positions holders who can have the prestige power. Uh, Executive leaders accrue power in their capacity as agents acting on behalf of shareholders. The strength of ownership depends on how closely the leader is linked to shareholders and board members. The leader's ownership power is also associated with how much money he and she has invested in the firm. An executive who has a major share in the company is less likely to be fired by the board. Power stemming from providing resources. According to this perspective, the organization requires a continuing flow of human resources, money, customers, and client technological inputs and materials to continue to function. Individuals who provide these key resources accrue power. An important consequences of leader resource related power is that when leaders start losing their power to control resources, their power declines. So this is how related with the resources. You can say that the resources is importantly linked with your money, customers, human resources, technological inputs, material functions. These are very important things. Here I can also quote that how much revenue the organization is getting, how much the overall technologically you are advanced. So these are all related with the resources. You can also quote it with the countries as well. Those countries who have a lot of resources, have a lot of money, so that they have the power to lead to lead the country. Power stemming from capitalizing on opportunity. Power can be derived from being in the right place at the right time and taking the appropriate action. For example, we can say that Musharraf and Zardari, in their time period, you can say that currently, currently you can say that Imran Khan. It pays to be where the action is in order to gain power through capitalizing on opportunity. Power stemming from the critical problems at contingency theory of problem. Power suggests that units that are best able to cope with the firm's critical problems and uncertainties require relatively large amounts of power. The theory concerns the unit's centrality. It refers to the extent to which a unit's activities are linked into the system of organizational activities. The simple thing is that how much leaders can manage things and how they can handle the critical problems in a tough situations. A unit of high centrality when it is an important and integral part of the work done by another unit holding a position of centrality. It does influence the power a worker and therefore his or her unit can exert. Shaukat Tareen is also the one of the person who has the high centrality. Factors that contribute to organizational factors. People want power for many different reasons, which is why political behavior is so widespread in organization. Pyramid shaped organization structure, subjective standards of performance, environmental uncertainty and turbulence, emotional insecurity, Machiavellian tendencies, disagreements that prevent rational decision making. So these are all the things which is related with the organizational politics. I already discussed with you people what does the mean of the Machiavellian. So you people know about it. If you don't know what does the mean of the Machiavellian, you can ask from me through the LMS QE section, or you can directly text me or WhatsApp me so we can discuss it. What does the meaning of the Machiavellian tendencies? Pyramid shape is related with the hierarchical structure. Hierarchical organization structure is the pyramid shaped system that arranges the relation between the entities within an organization in a top down way. The power is accumulated at the top of the rung. The subjective standards of performance are based on the personal preferences of the manager rather than based on any measurable results to be achievable. It leads to political behavior because people they do of not think organization has objective and fair judgment. Environmental uncertainty and turbulence are very much clear, unpredictable environment and tend to behave politically. A person who is insecure, lacks confidence in their own value and capability, trust in themselves or others, has fears that represent positive state. Machiavellian, the person's tendency to deceive and manipulate others for personal gain. Political tactics and strategy, political behavior, gaining power, building relationships with superiors. So you just read out it, and you can, if you have any questions, you can ask from me so we can discuss in details. Be courteous, pleasant, and positive. Flatter others sensibly. There are some of the things that you can link. Avoiding political blunders. Avoid displays of disloyalty, being a pest, being perceived as a poor team player, burning your bridges. So these are things related with the exercises and then the other things, elements related with the organizational politics and organizational elements. Laugh at boss humor. This is very important. How that you can build relationships with the superiors, network with the influential people, help your manager succeed, volunteer for assignments, flattery, use information power, appear cool under pressure. This is very important when you show a cool and calm mindset when you are under pressure. Express constructive disagreement. This is very important. This appear cool is very much important in the organization. This is very much important. Building relationships with co-workers, maintain honest and good relationships, be diplomatic, exchange favors, and these are all things very important. Reduce system uncertainty. So please read these all things. If you have any questions, please ask for me so we can discuss in details. Thank you very much, dear students.